hunger gnawed at Ling Chen's will like maggots on a corpse. He tore open a can, the cold meat sliding into his mouth, carrying a metallic tang. Yet, it was like rain after a long drought, and he devoured it ravenously, ignoring everything else. His health points slowly recovered, like a parched riverbed gradually being filled with water. Full and satisfied, Ling Chen leaned against a discarded car tire, beginning to sort through his thoughts. He had to figure out what this unlimited domain was all about. And what was the deal with that voice constantly echoing in his mind? He focused his mind, trying to catch the voice again. After a moment, the mechanical voice sounded again. Scanning host's physical condition, meets binding requirements. God Tier Lord system activation initiated. Ling Chen abruptly stood up, scanning his surroundings warily, but found nothing. Was it an illusion? System activating. 1%. 10%. 50%. 99%. Activation complete. As the voice finished, a blue light screen, visible only to Ling Chen, appeared out of thin air like a scene from a science fiction movie. God Tier Lord system activated, host, Ling Chen. The light screen displayed some basic information. Asterisk host, Ling Chen. Asterisk level, 1. Asterisk territory, none. Asterisk resources, none. Asterisk reputation, 0. Asterisk skills, basic combat, LV1, basic scouting, LV1. Asterisk special building blueprint, simple wooden cabin, level 1. Ling Chen's eyes widened. He was a special forces soldier who had experienced gunfire, and he had the mental fortitude for it, but he was still completely shocked by the scene before him. A system? And a God Tier 1 at that? Was he becoming a novel protagonist? He tried to communicate with the system using his mind. What is this thing? How did I get this? The God Tier Lord system is designed to help the host build the most powerful territory in the unlimited domain and become the ultimate overlord, the system replied mechanically. The host is the chosen one, possessing the power to change the world. Change the world? Ling Chen scoffed. Right now, he just wanted to survive in this damn place. But this system sounded interesting. What is this simple wooden cabin? What's it for? Ling Chen asked. The simple wooden cabin is a basic building for territory construction. It can provide the host with a safe shelter, resisting attacks from wild animals and mutated creatures. At the same time, it can attract survivors to seek refuge. Ling Chen's eyes lit up. A shelter? That's exactly what he needed right now. In this dangerous ruin, a safe base was crucial. How do I build it? Ling Chen asked eagerly. The host needs to consume certain resources to build buildings. The host currently lacks sufficient resources to build. Ling Chen frowned. What resources are needed? The light screen immediately displayed the required resources. Asterisk wood, 100 units. Asterisk stone, 50 units. Wood. Stone. Ling Chen looked around. This ruin was full of broken wood and rubble. Finding these things shouldn't be difficult. But how to turn them into the units required by the system? System, how do I collect resources? The host can obtain resources through methods such as gathering, logging, and mining. When the resources reach a certain amount, the system will automatically convert them into units. Ling Chen understood. It seemed he had to do it himself. He stretched his muscles. Although his strength hadn't fully recovered, it was enough for some simple labor. He had to build his shelter as soon as possible to gain a foothold in this cruel world. Ling Chen walked out of the parking lot and began searching for wood and stone. He first came to a collapsed house, which was filled with all kinds of wood. He picked up a relatively complete wooden board and tried to lift it. The board was heavy, weighing dozens of pounds, but for a former Special Forces soldier, this weight was nothing. He moved the board aside and picked up a few smaller pieces of wood, piling them together. He kept repeating this action and quickly collected a large amount of wood. However, the system didn't react. System, I've collected a lot of wood, why hasn't it been converted into units? Ling Chen asked, puzzled. The wood collected by the host has not been certified by the system and cannot be converted into units. The host needs to use specific tools for collection or use the system's built-in conversion function. Specific tools? Ling Chen looked around but couldn't find any tools. It seemed he could only use the system's built-in conversion function. System, how do I use the conversion function? The host can convert the collected resources into units by consuming a certain amount of energy. The conversion ratio is 10:1. Energy. Ling Chen checked his attributes and found that there was indeed an energy option with a value of 100. What is energy used for? Ling Chen asked. Energy is a necessary condition for the host to use system functions. It can be used for resource conversion, skill upgrades, building construction, and so on. Ling Chen understood. It seemed that this energy was his mana. He tried to use the conversion function to convert some of the wood into units. Consume 10 energy to convert 100 units of wood into 10 units, the system prompted. Yes. Ling Chen confirmed without hesitation. As the energy was consumed, a portion of the wood he collected suddenly disappeared, and at the same time, the amount of wood on the system interface became 10 units. It really works. Ling Chen was overjoyed. With this conversion function, his resource collection speed would be greatly increased. Next, Ling Chen began to collect stone. Compared to wood, stone was harder to find. He spent more time finding enough stones in some ruins. Similarly, he also used the conversion function to convert the stone into units. When he finally collected enough wood and stone, the system prompted. Congratulations, host, the resources have met the construction requirements. Build a simple wooden cabin. Yes. Build it immediately. Ling Chen said excitedly. With his confirmation, a white light descended from the sky, enveloping an open space in the parking lot. When the white light dissipated, a simple wooden cabin appeared out of thin air. Although the wooden cabin was simple, it gave a sense of security. It was built from wooden boards and stones, with only a small window and a wooden door. But in this ruin, it was a solid fortress. Simple wooden cabin construction complete, territory +1, reputation +10, the system prompted. Ling Chen couldn't wait to enter the wooden cabin. The interior of the wooden cabin was very small, with only a simple bed and a wooden table. But it could provide shelter from the wind and rain and resist attacks from wild animals. With this shelter, he could finally rest in peace. System, what defensive capabilities does this wooden cabin have? Ling Chen asked. The simple wooden cabin can withstand attacks from small wild animals and mutated creatures. But to face more powerful enemies, the host needs to upgrade the building to improve its defensive capabilities. Upgrade the building? It seemed that the road to territory construction was still long. But at least it's a start, Ling Chen muttered to himself. He sat on the wooden bed, looking at the ruins outside the window, his heart filled with hope. The God-tier Lord system was perhaps his only hope for survival in this unlimited domain. He had to make full use of this system, constantly develop his territory, improve his strength, and eventually become the master of this world. Ling Chen took a deep breath, his eyes filled with determination. He believed that as long as he persevered, he would definitely create his own legend.
Let's stop reading the novel here. See you in the next chapter. Please follow us.